15 products that used to be a luxury and now they are not. There will always be a select few items of extreme opulence that if one possesses them, immediately mark their owner as wealthy. When everyone starts buying them, they lose their exclusive status. Here are 15 items that were once considered upscale but are now commonplace. Drones. Drones as an idea have been around for a while. Austria flew bomb-laden unmanned balloons to Venice in 1849. Thanks to a shift in the wind, only one balloon went up in flames. Drones entered its golden age in the 2010s, when they were widely available for recreational use rather than as transporters of explosives. This led to a surge in their popularity, although only among the wealthy. BBC.com has given it the monkier Game of Drones and has reported on the declining prices of drones due to their rising popularity. Number 2. Lobster. The recipes in The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous cookbook are the kinds of extravagant treats that only the super rich can afford. There's lobster, of course, but also pates, caviar, veal, white chocolate dipped strawberries and more. One of the unexpected benefits of COVID is that the formerly exorbitant cost of lobster has dropped to record lows. According to therealsimple.com, due to COVID-19 regulations, more lobster is available for customers to purchase directly instead of from third parties, including restaurants and caterers. Stock up while you can, because this historically low price won't stay long. Your daily presence here is greatly appreciated. Subscribing will ensure that you receive our daily videos without missing a beat. So let's continue with number 3. That is international travel. In the past, only the upper class could afford to travel abroad. Thankfully, there was no social media to witness the ultra-rich bragging about their lavish vacations. A worldwide flight reservation is now routine. Although it's still exciting, it's not as significant as it once was. For many people, the one downside to flying is that you have to sit so close to strangers that you can smell their body odor and halitosis. Maybe the next adventure we go on will be more beneficial to you. Number 4. Partying on a yacht. In a video, 15 luxurious experiences that are actually worth the money, we recommended relaxing on a private yacht rental. The great thing about this choice is that despite the fact that many people still consider it to be the pinnacle of luxury items, it is actually pretty cheap. Experiencing the finer things in life can be afforded much more quickly than you might think if you round up some pals to help you out. Also, keep an eye out for a Galactica star, as you have never known when you might cruise by Beyonce and family on the lavish boat. Number 5. Higher education. The price of a college degree has skyrocketed in recent years. The cost of a college education has increased by about 538% since 1985, as reported by bestvalueschools.com. In other words, the cost of a university degree has increased by about 4.5 times in the last year. University attendance was seen as a status symbol, and those who did not pursue higher education were looked down upon as being either too poor or too stupid. Fortunately, this kind of talk has died down, and there are plenty of alternative choices to consider. The old shame of not going to college does not exist anymore. Number 6. Golfing. Golf's long-standing status as a sport mostly enjoyed by affluent white men has been widely documented. However, the issue at hand is not one of race or gender, but rather of money. There is no longer any need to go into overdraft in order to afford a new round of golf. Golf was formerly out of reach for many people, but as time has passed, prices have dropped. Since you can rent the necessary gear, it's no longer to waste a lot of money to give up and if you find yourself spending more time in the bunker than you'd like. You could perhaps share the opinion of the late comedian Ted Ray, who once stated, "Golf is a fascinating game. It took me the 40 years, but I finally figured out that I'm not a musician." Number 7. Uggs. COVID and celebs are to thank for the Uggs comeback. Uggs were first popularized in 1960s by Australian surfers. Since then, they have been seen on the bodies of every notable person. Celebrities such as Sienna Miller, Rihanna, Gigi Hadid, Beyoncé, and even Oprah helped bring the cozy boot to the forefront of public consciousness. The market became oversaturated as a result of knockoffs and price cuts, and the cozy boot went into hiding until COVID came along. The price of the boot has dropped, and many websites are now providing information about where to find it on sale. For example, thesun.co.uk announces Ugg boots are back. Therefore, here are bargains so you can have the look for less. Number 8. Having a personal driver. Your personal driver may not show up in a full suit and open the door for you, but he will arrive within 5 minutes of your request. Honestly, what else do you need? However, while there are a number of ride-sharing apps out there, none are as widely recognized as Uber. Public transportation and taxis were both unreliable and prohibitively expensive prior to the advent of Uber. In the day and age, the cost of our regular commute has decreased to the point where only those who need to transport huge loads by themselves would consider giving up their cars. Number 9. Content creation is available to everyone. We used to have to engage experts before the invention of modern cell phone. Case in point. It used to be too expensive to hire a professional photographer, but now with the help of our sophisticated smartphone cameras, we can produce truly stunning and professional looking images. Video footages require the services of professional videographer and editor. Now that you have a state-of-the-art mobile phone, there is no reason for you to do so. Hiring an artist or animator is unnecessary now that you have everything you need in your pocket. If you ever do need outside help, you may acquire it at a reduced cost thanks to the accessibility of these services from the convenience of your mobile device. This is not something we advocate for, but it is the current state of affairs. Simply said, content creation tools are no longer seen as a status symbol. We all carry them around with us today. Number 10. You can improve your skills without zero cost. Your baking abilities can be enhanced by enrolling in a baking class. The same goes for enhancing your ability to paint, garden, or sing. If you wanted to get better at anything, you'd have to shell out of a lot of cash for private lessons. Skills like these are now accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Number 11. Nutribullets. In the past decade, the Nutribullet has become one of the most sought after appliances. As of its 2012 release, it was the pinnacle of blender technology and the pinnacle of healthy lifestyles. You'd think buying the kitchen gadget would help you lose weight, but the only thing that will shrink is your bank account. And as should be predicted, their prevalence increased with time. Except they just introduced such as gorgeous range of colors that you'll want to buy all of them. Number 12. Any technological advancement. I'm curious as to how you account for such drastic drop in price. Just do it. Technology advancements allow for cheaper production. The increased output allows for greater economies of scale. Since there is now more competition, all prices must be considered. Price skimming. Since the product's target market is already well off, it can be released at a steep price without fear of losing sales. And this method will work for any technological innovation from the first color TV to virtual reality. Number 13. Investing. There are fewer and fewer barriers to entry for would-be investors in the modern day. All you need is access to the internet, a few dollars, and a willingness to learn. What you don't have, hire someone else to do it. An investor need not to be wealthy. According to Fool.com, one of the best improvements is how it has leveled the playing field for average individuals who want to invest. And this is just one of the numerous ways the internet has altered the world. In addition to the oceans of information available about publicly traded firms and other prospective investments, there is a seemingly infinite supply of tools for rookie investors to learn from. Brokers and advisors, meanwhile, have responded by reducing fees, expanding consumer choices, and simplifying investment processes. Number 14. Self-care. Do you remember when the only kind of housewife who could afford Botox was an affluent one? The situation has changed, though. The website womenaroundtown.com published an article confirming that Botox has been in use for barely 15 years actually, but is now becoming more cheap and the expenses have decreased. That's just one form of self-care that was once unattainable. Taking the time to read a book for pleasure, along with laser hair removal, hair extensions, nail care, and other standard self-care services, permanent makeup like eyeliner and lip liners are also becoming increasingly common. It's a bad that all the Botox has frozen people's faces, otherwise I'd show my excitement over the price cuts. Number 15. Sleeping in luxury penthouses. Did you ever think you'd be able to spend a few nights in Palazzo from the 16th century on the shores of Lake Como or in the castle in the middle of Namibia? Thanks to Airbnb, staying in a luxurious home for a fraction of the price you'd normally pay is within reach of many people's budget, making these once attainable dreams a reality. It has increased the glamour of travel without substantially raising the prices.